Alright, so tonight I've got a rather simple tie. It's called a Bluegill Candy Hopper. It's coming up that time of year with the summer when we all use like terrestrials and beetles and dry flies. Down here in South Alabama, the grasshoppers are off the hook right now, and the sunset bite for the bluegill and the bass are pretty good. This is a good all-around panfish fly. It can be used for multiple different species, trout included, wherever your hopper is. It can be tied as big as a size 4, and it can go down as small as about a size 12. Now, if you're going to do a 10 and a 12, I would recommend that you look at the thickness of your foam. If you can get a hold of 1mm foam, you can double it up. If not, possibly using just a single layer of foam and then lay a base of dubbing on the hook, and then same procedures, just using a single layer of the foam coming on top of the dubbing for those smaller hooks. I've got one tied up here. This is a size 10. You can change the colors to match whatever color you're trying to match in there. I've seen them done in everything from white to purple to pink. This one here I'm going to tie tonight is in green and yellow. This is a size 8. So let's get started. Okay. So right here I have a size 8 standard streamer hook. I wish I could tell you who made it. Unfortunately, I have a bag full of streamer hooks that I don't know who made them, and so we're just going to use the standard size 8. Take it back out of the vise. First thing I'm going to do is I'm going to take the bottom piece of foam. Right, let me back up here. We're going to talk about what we're going to use. It's 3 materials in this. You're using foam, you're using rubber legs, and obviously the thread. You can see here I've got 2 templates of foam cut. Don't laugh, they're not the best. If you do have a foam cutter, you can use the foam cutter. The Fat Angie foam cutters tend to be the best body style for this one. I don't have those, so what I did is I took some cardboard. You can see I took some cardboard here, and I traced out templates. You can see I've got an 8 and a 10 here. I traced those on the foam and cut them out. You can make them to whatever size you need. So the first thing I'm going to do after I've cut these out is I'm going to take the bottom color and I'm going to place it about a hook gap down through the center, and I'm going to place the hook, run the hook through it. Now, let me make sure I'm kind of in the center. There you go. Push that through, and we're going to kind of push that off to the side. We're going to go ahead and put the hook into the vise. You can do this after you lay your thread base. This just tends to be a little easier if you go ahead and do it before you put your thread base. Here I have chartreuse Danville wax nylon. First rule of fly tying, use what you have. I didn't have any chartreuse thread, but if you're going to use thread, I recommend using a bigger size like a 140 denier. You probably don't need to go as high as a 210. Match the aught size to that thread, because the smaller thread does tend to sometimes cut into the foam. So I'm going to use this chartreuse floss to match the colors we're going to do. So I'm going to go ahead, I'm going to come in here, I'm going to lay my thread base. If you hear any noise in the background, it's because my psychotic cat is trying to get out of the room. He had to come in and see what I was doing. He has to make sure he's in charge of everything. After you get the thread base laid, I'm going to go ahead now. I'm going to use, you can use Zap-A-Gap, you can use super glue, whatever cement you want. I prefer the super glues or the Zap-A-Gaps because of the quick drying. If you have a brush applicator, it works really well. I'm going to take here and put a little bit on my bodkin, and I'm going to go ahead and just put a little light coating right there on that bottom layer. Put the lid back on. Then I'm going to come in here with the top piece and I'm going to pinch it on. Give it a couple seconds to dry. My family laughs because when I use the Zap-A-Gap or the super glue, I wind up getting it on my fingers. It's a big joke. Dad's going to super glue himself. So, all right. Then I'm going to come in here and I'm going to take a couple of loose wraps. You can kind of pinch the foam together if you need to. Just a couple of loose wraps to make sure I'm not getting hung up on my hook like I was. There we go. A couple loose wraps, make sure that is centered, and then I'm going to cinch that down. Okay. Make yourself about 3 or 4 good tight wraps on that segment. Then you're going to open this up and you're going to bring your thread back up and move it up probably about to the halfway point, maybe not quite that far. We're going to try to make 3 segments on these larger flies. On the smaller ones I usually only do 2. Same procedure now. A little bit more of your super glue or your Zap-A-Gap. I'm going to go ahead and coat this bottom right in here. I'm going to pinch them together, give them a couple of seconds to set. And then a couple of loose wraps. Again, making sure that that's in there. You can kind of pinch that foam together if you need to, and then you're going to cinch down a couple, 3 or 4 good tight wraps. All right. Ooh, I came too far forward on that one. You see that? You don't want to come all the way up to the hook. You want to be about probably 2, maybe 3 hook eyes back. So there you go. I'm going to only get 2 segments out of this. There you go, a couple of loose wraps. There you go, we're going to cinch it up and pinch it down. Yeah, cinched in there pretty good. Good. Alright, so there. Now what we're going to do here is we're going to cut this yellow, the bottom piece, right about even with the front of the hook eye. Just like that. Okay? You can actually go just behind it. I think I'm going to taper this just a little bit and come in behind this. There you go. Same thing now, you're going to come in here with a little more super glue or Zap-A-Gap. I'm going to coat that right up underneath both sides of that. Put my lid back on. And then I'm going to cinch this together, kind of pinch it in, and I'm going to tie this off right behind the hook eye. Okay, that's kind of ugly, but it will work. Again, just another drop of the Zap-A-Gap or super glue. You're going to put that right in here, and then you're going to lay this top piece over. You're going to give it a second to sit. You're going to hold it. Now this is where the interesting piece comes in. When you fold this piece back over, don't really want to pull this towards the back because it kind of pulls it away. I want to kind of push it forward to the bend of the hook and let it sit. And now I'm going to come in here and I'm going to overlap that last segment, and I'm going to kind of pinch it there and there. I'm going to make my head a couple, 3 hard wraps. Okay? So this is the body of the fly. At this point, you can come in here and trim this wing case. You can also, before you fold this over or after you fold it over, if you want to put a hot spot or some yarn on there, you can. I don't. I'm just going to kind of come in here. I'm just going to kind of angle this off just a little bit. Like that. Just angle that wing case off just a little bit. There you go. Like I said, at this point, if you wanted to tie in a hot spot or you wanted to tie in a wing with some yarn wing, you can do that. I don't find it necessary. Now, I did not have any barred yellow legs. I just had solid yellow legs. So I took a Sharpie and made my own bars. Again, first rule of fly tying, use what you have. So I've got 4 strands here. I'm going to go ahead and cut those off of the main strand. And you can go ahead at this point and start separating them just a little bit if you want. You can separate them all the way if that's how you want to do it. I tend to just kind of separate them just a little bit here at the ends, and I'm having difficulty. We're experiencing minor technical difficulties. Alright, give me a second here. No fingernails, and there you go. So I've gone ahead and pulled this back about an inch or so. I'm going to come in and I'm going to lay about 1/3 of what I have on top of the body. just like so. I'm going to make a couple of loose wraps like that. Then I'm going to come back here and I'm going to separate the ones from the back. If you don't have legs that are joined together like that, that's fine. Go ahead and just tie them in, 4 of them. I'm going to go ahead and pull them apart. Now, what I'm going to do is I'm going to take these outside 2 legs and I'm going to wiggle them over till I like where they're attached on the side. Right about there. Okay, well, now we'll take these, the near side, and do the same thing and match them up. At this point, now you're going to go ahead and you're going to do a 3 or 4 turn whip finish, or in my case, because I'm in a hurry for the video so you guys don't have to listen to me, I'm just going to do a couple of quick half hitches. Just a couple quick half hitches in here. Okay, there we go. Then again, this isn't so much to, if you do a good whip finish, it's fine, but I take Zap-A-Gap or super glue and I put it on these thread wraps right in here, because I'm going to be using this primarily for panfish. That would be, you know, largemouth bass, the spotted bass, the red-eye bass, bluegill, red ears, things like that. And they have little needly teeth, and they will kind of fray this. So hopefully I'll get a few fish out of this before the tree monster grabs it and takes it from me. Now at this point you can trim the legs, or as you can see here, I actually have tied one of the legs. You can make it look like a hopper leg if you so choose. I don't know if you can see that. You can kind of see there's the knot in it. If you want to do the hopper legs, you can. I typically don't. Again, panfish don't really seem to care about that. So I'm going to come in here, I'm going to grab these legs, I'm going to pull them back. I'm going to go maybe half, 2/3 of a hook shank back behind, and I'm going to go ahead and just cut these off. There you go. You can make these as short or as long as you want. I'm going to come up here to the front, I'm going to pull them out even, and I'm going to go again about half, maybe a little more than half of a hook shank. Trim these. There you go. That is a bluegill candy hopper. Real simple pattern to tie, real quick to tie, especially after you get all the little foam body segments punched out. It's really only three materials. It's the foam, the thread, and your legs. That's pretty much it. But this is bluegill candy hopper.